Okay, good afternoon, guys. So I'm a little bit late. I was just running a bit behind. Okay, so let's have a look. So we've had another kind of reasonable drop overnight. We gapped down yesterday, down I think mostly to tariffs overnight, and then we're down again this morning. So it's hard to know what's going on here at the moment, whether this is going to start to recover or it's going to continue down. It's hard to say at the moment. So I want to know what's going on. So Daryl, how you doing? Ben, how you doing, bud? So it's just really, we've had these drops overnight. I cut the push up and we've just been literally chopping. Is there something larger like that? Bit of kind of a range. There may well be. Nice long weekend. Yeah. Goes quick, doesn't it? Goes so quick. There is a failure there, actually. It's not a very good one, though. ATR is a little higher than normal, although it is settling a bit. Just don't know what's going on at the moment. So we got two legs down. There is kind of a second entry short there, but it's just choppy at the moment, so it's a bit dangerous. So Disco, how you doing? See you there, buddy. Not really much you can do here. Does look like it's trying. I mean, we chopped around here, didn't we? It does look like it's trying to recover some of this mood overnight. Richard, how you doing, buddy? There's quite a lot of liquidity there. There was some reasonable sized bull bars there, and then it took off. But there's going to be quite a bit of liquidity there, so I wouldn't be shocked if it comes back down and tests this bottom area. 1, 2, 3, bit of a triple test there. You just got to be so careful at the moment because it's so choppy. Oh, this is interesting. Is this going to flush down and clear out this liquidity? It could well do. We've had 3 clear attempts to push up. The bar wasn't very good. We didn't get a lower high, so there's not really much you can do here. finding some support at this midline. There's some strong bull bars there on both charts, really. Got a big one there on this chart, on the left chart, and a couple of strong ones there. So chopped around, it looks like, for a bit, and then obviously took off. So I don't think there's any type of a channel there. All three. Afternoon rhythmic issues to apex. Not that I'm aware of, bud. Not that I'm aware of. You're welcome, mate. Yeah, we rarely get issues, to be honest with you. I can't remember the last time. It's over a year ago since it's been sorted out. We haven't had issues for over. Yeah, it's been a long time, hasn't it? We just don't tend to have them anymore. There is quite a lot of orders up here, so I wouldn't be surprised if this thing takes off. Got a channel here with a break. Looks like it's going to... trouble is, there's no setup there. There's only really a first entry, so unfortunate as much as we think it's going to push up. 87.50. Short orders there above this bar. So channel break new high. We've got some at 900. Up there. Some at 85 as well, which we're nearly there now. We basically are there now, actually. There we go. So leg. Second entry short there. Trouble is, with all those orders up there, I couldn't bring myself to get short. Ordinarily, it wouldn't look bad in a range data short like that, but just can't do it. Okay, so depending on what you think of that, I wasn't 100% sure, but we've had a new high from it now, so that has played out. So, possible breakout. Bell breakout. There's just no bar. There is on here, but oh no, tell I. Didn't break below there. My guess is, from what I can see, it's going to push further up. I think there's a good chance we do recover a lot of this, but we'll have to see. There is a possible lower high here. I wouldn't take that. Most of the orders are up here. May work, but my guess is it won't. Well, it did. Trouble is, if you look on bookmap, there's loads of orders right up here. So, well, granted, they're quite far away. So what I'm going to do is just take this up there. I'm going to use that as a small channel here because we've had a break out the top. My guess is we likely get one out the bottom. There is a failure there, but I just don't want to go short this close to the bottom around the midline. It's just risky. It may trigger and then pop back up. Maybe there's a larger channel there. Doesn't look too bad. Now, if this is a range, we've had a break out the top. More often than not, we get one at the bottom. This thing's flickering around a bit. It's making me nervous. There you go. If you'd have got in there, may well have stung you. Let's have a look, see if there's any type of larger channel. It's a bit early, really, to do something like that, I think. So there are sellers at 82. If we can get a second little push up here, I don't think we're going to. A little second entry short here. We may do if we get a bull bot. Let's just get a short order here. Submitted. If we can hit this and break above there, we got two little legs up. Those orders are at 82. Need to get up here, really. Trigger this bull bar here, that'd be nice. In fact, we've already triggered it on this side, but it hasn't got up to those orders at 92 as of yet, so I just want to wait. So that bull bar is triggered, so we're hitting these orders now. Two legs up. It's gone further than I expected. Order cancelled. It's making me nervous, all this is. Struggling to get below. Struggle there, struggling here. That is a second entry short, but we didn't get down the bottom, so well, it may be if it works, but I'm sitting tight here. So we've had a break. Is it a matching low? I don't think it is. Not quite. No, we're a tick off, I think. Tick or two off. Armanas, how you doing? VTPA. Could be in about 10 minutes. Could have a significant quick impact. It is a bit choppy at the moment, isn't it? Shh. So we struggle to get. I'm going to break out. Struggle to get down here. So this is. I mean, most of the orders are up here. So let me have a look. It's about 94 up there. Sellers here. Sellers up there at the 900 level. Just nervous about shorting, I am. It's kind of an uptrend, but a very weak one. You just never quite know what's going to happen. Yeah, it is a bit volatile, mate. When it's like this, it's so easy to chop you up quickly. Yeah, this thing's just up and down, isn't it? Whoa, look at this. 31 ticks. Leg and a leg. Whoa. Cleared out any possible liquidity. I just couldn't take that bar if I wanted to. It's just massive. As it's broken liquidity, I think there's a good chance it pushes up, but I'm not taking a risk for 25 ticks. Well, that does include the signal bar and the stop. Maybe a higher low here, but I just don't like this price at the moment. It's just super risky. It's not clear. We've had 3 little breakouts which failed. Does that mean it's struggling to get up? It's a weak uptrend at best, isn't it? I got no idea, to be honest with you. Might be a tough week to trade this. Yeah, possibly. It's been a tough month, hasn't it, really? Ooh. You haven't taken one this year. I've only taken a couple myself, 2 or 3, I think. So there is a possible second entry short. I don't want to go short after we've just had a breakout. Setup looks okay. Trouble is the context says we've had a breakout, so it may fail. There's a possible failure there. It's so choppy. It's just it's just too risky. You can get crucified in this. I mean, you could take them in the failure. Didn't break above it, so it's not an engulfing, but you could try and get in at a limit order back if you liked it, but this is, who knows where this is going to go, up, down. If you'd have gotten on a limit order, you'd have been out. I considered it, but trouble is, look at this. We've got a bit of a line here, and we're sort of closing at the EMA, so yeah, it's just so dangerous. We get up to midline, this thing turns down, look. There's going to be liquidity down here, isn't there? So is this going to clear all this out? I wouldn't be shocked. See it here, big bull bar there. Bull bar there, higher low bull bar there. Looks like it's going to clear all this out, I think, by the looks of things. So we've got this move down. We've got one attempt to go higher, multiple attempts to go higher. Is this possibly failing? We're going to come down for a second leg. Your guess is as good as mine. So we could end up having something like this. Who knows? So there's going to be liquidity here. So we get a second entry short up here. We may find traders going long back into the range. We may get something. I don't know if it's going to wait though. We're nearly at these lows here. In fact, I don't think we've hit them yet because I think we'd have had a rush down because if I remember, it really struggled to get down here and then it took off in the end. So if it gets below this area here, my guess is I'll have a quick shove down. So we've got orders at 65, which you'd expect. Buy orders at 65. We're going to have a rush down in a minute, I think. So if we get below here, I think we'll have a quick rush down. So buyers there, excuse me, buyers at 55. We'll likely try to retest the lows. Looks that way, doesn't it? Get below here, it might find it a bit easy. It's definitely struggling. It's tempting, but I'm just staying out of this at the moment. I am. Get caught out, that can be expensive. These bars are rather large. I'd much prefer a couple of legs up and to test this area here, test the underside of this and get some rejection here. It's just too risky getting in here at the moment. There's no setup anyway. So possible break. See if we can get some rejection here. I wouldn't be surprised if the thing rocketed back in there. Nothing would surprise me at the moment. Ooh. I'll have a couple of legs. You need a lower high. It's too risky taking that. There are buyers at 65, which is below the lows, which is good. There are sellers at 80, quite far away. It would be much easier. I think the pull will be stronger down here. Trouble is, I just don't trust this market. It's choppy as shit. Not just that, the bars are quite large in a lot of cases. If we get a lower high. Oh, excuse me. Possible lower high here. No, I don't like it. It's making me nervous, all this is. There's definitely some support here. There's no arguing that. It really struggled to get below there before it took off. You've just got to be so careful because it could trigger you and just go like that. I wouldn't be shocked if this thing took off back in this channel. Nothing would surprise me at the moment. I just don't like this price action. It's risky. There's going to be, I mean, there's a bit of a channel here. There's going to be traders kind of, well, there you go. See, there's going to be traders looking at this bottom being tested. So maybe you'd say there's a channel up like that, which I suppose, yeah, possibly. That actually doesn't look too bad. You've had a break in a new high. There's a big, strong bull bar there. So there's clearly aggressive buyers there, that's for certain. You can see them up there. The good thing is it's a few seconds behind here and you can see those aggressive buyers. And then all of a sudden you get this big bear bar. Look, big strong bull bar there. Trouble is it's above the EMA and it could really chop you to pieces, that thing could. You got to be so careful here. I don't know how many times I got involved in this sort of stuff before and got crucified. There's one hell of a lot of support there. You can clearly see that it really struggled to get down there. Now, if this is a channel, which is not too bad, there's a break there, a couple of legs up, it's probably going to make a new low. There's no setup here. There is a bar here, but it's above that EMA. I just don't like any of this at the moment. Oh. Excuse me, I feel tired this morning. Oof. This afternoon, sorry. Richard, you have PTSD from trading? Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. It's dangerous, this is. It's dangerous unless you really know what you're doing, and even, you know, when it's chopping like that, little break up there, you may have had a gone long there. We've had two little double bottom here, but when it's like this, for the most part, I keep out of it. It's not often I take a trade unless it's very clear, two beautiful legs, big bearish bar, strong lower high, loads of liquidity to take out on the way down. Otherwise, I stay out of it. I wouldn't touch this. You can argue it's a lower high, but I wouldn't be surprised if that triggers and pushes back here and retests this line again. It's a weak short, that is. So channel break low, push down below the EMA. Let's have a look. See what I mean? I won't be surprised. Now, fortunately, it didn't trigger it, but you've got to be so careful here, especially when we've struggled there and here. You can argue that it's a lower high there. You're going to trigger some stops here, but then once you get below here, the next lot is down here, so there's nothing you can do here, really. Little second entry short, maybe. I'm really struggling with trading. I've been working this for so long, I'm starting to think it's just a scam. Do you have any advice for me? How long have you been trading for, bud? What I will say is lately, the last month, 5 weeks leading up to Christmas, has been particularly difficult. I've taken very little trades myself, to be honest with you. Very little. I think people underestimate how hard trading is. I mean, look at this. Is this going to fail? Maybe, but we've pushed it and then pushed below that EMA, so it's just trappy 5 years. So it's the same time as me. If I'm honest, mate, it's only really in the last sort of 5 or 6 months that I think I'm getting this. And it's not so much for me, the change has been more so much taking less trades. My nerves and that impulsiveness with the emotions aren't kicking in as much as they used to. So it's not a scam, put it that way. It's not a scam. I know people are making money. It's not a scam. But it is way harder than you think. There hasn't been a lot of trades. I've been talking to people like Marco and Vladdy and Dan, and there hasn't been a lot of setups over the last month. It's been really hard going. So it requires you to just sit on your hands and be more patient, and it's difficult. Fortunately, patience is good with me at the moment. It's the one thing I struggle with, but it is hard going at the moment. There's not been a lot of setups, but you know, I think sometimes, I think the key is with trading, you do get times when it's like this, and I think the key is, if you haven't got a really good, obvious, solid setup, just don't take one. You're better off sometimes not to take a trade than take a risky one and end up taking a loss. I mean, Thomas Wade, who's a pretty good trader, he took 2 losses in one day a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. Then a loss the following day, so I know he's finding it trickier lately. I'm just not taking trades. I think I've taken 4 trades. Are very open about their profits. I tell you what, mate, people don't talk so much about losses. That's one thing you'll notice. People tend to, when people have got something to say, it's usually when they've made money. But you don't see the losses. You know, you may see, well, I haven't seen anybody posting any losing trades. People generally don't like posting losing trades. They kind of think it might make them look weak or something. Part of the reason why I like Thomas Wade, he posts his losses, and he's taken a fair few lately. He's taken his fair share of battering. But it has been really hard going lately. You know, Christmas obviously hasn't helped. The various things around the world is probably contributing to it somehow. But Jeff, how you doing? But the key is, mate, I know it. Sometimes you're thinking, well, I need to trade. We've got to make money, haven't we? But if there isn't any trades, there simply isn't anything you can do about it. You know, some strategies may be making trades. Who knows? But I was watching one of What's-Its videos. He's made a video on what he's made. And he said it's been hard lately. I don't think he'll be having a paycheck this month. Alpine. He had a paycheck every month last year. He won't be having one this month, because it's been hard going. I think Nutty had 46 accounts. He ended up blowing 20 of them. So trading has been particularly hard lately. I can't exactly tell you why. Sometimes it is what it is. So you've just really got to be patient. Losses do hurt, yeah. So in some cases, you really just have to sit and wait for a really good setup and just take it. It's quite simple in theory, but when you've got emotions and impatience and all that sort of stuff constantly kind of working against you, it makes it more difficult. That's the big change for me over the last 6 months, that my patience much better. And obviously your skill level's climbing as well, which you don't tend to focus on so much. You tend to think about how all the negative shit and how it makes you feel. Let's have a look. Everyone only wants to brag when they win. Absolutely. If you look on Marco's Facebook groups, a lot of the trades you'll see on there, people don't post losses. So it gives you that false sort of thing, those false thoughts that it's just you. Trust me, mate, it ain't. It ain't. You know, if you haven't taken any trades in the last 3 or 4 weeks, you're probably better off financially than people who've taken quite a lot. Because there hasn't been a lot of setups. It's just hard at the moment, mate, but things will pick up. So many hours every day, and it ends up being a waste of time when I could be doing other things. Yeah, it makes me think. Yeah, it's not easy, mate. It's not easy. You know, I've been through, I was talking to someone the other day, and they said, well, you always seem upbeat on that, you know, on your stream. But, mate, I've been through plenty of times where I've been depressed. Completely out of control, feeling like I'm gambling, losing a stack of money. And it's only really last year got me into profit. The year before, I didn't really, although I made some money, what I lost, I didn't really make any profit. Last year, I think I ended up being about 41,000 up, which is not a lot. It's quite a small amount. But the most important thing for me, I can see how I did it by my patience and that. So that's my biggest reward. 2025 is starting to get that realization I can do this as long as, you know, I'm constantly patient and I wait for good setups. Don't make something out of something that you know, there isn't. But it is difficult, mate. It is. That's why most people fail, because they don't give it long enough and they don't keep battling through the tough times, and they don't slowly change that mindset. Yeah. Trouble is, look at some of the bars here. If you get that wrong, I mean, look at this bar here. That worked. I mean, it wasn't a terrible setup in a sense. It was a second entry short. It's a big ass bar, and that looks like a couple of pushes up, but look at the size of the bar. So 7.25. So you're risking 7.25 points to make 1 point. I can't do it myself. Now, if you're incredibly experienced and you've been doing it years, yeah, you'll make money on a point. But it doesn't make sense to me. Mac even, I'd love to find that video. Mac even come out a year or so ago and said if you can only afford to trade 1 or 2 contracts, you got to go for more points because the numbers don't work. Straight from the horse's mouth. You know, now if you're trading the runner, then obviously that you know, that alters the thing, but you know, the outcome a little. But But I like the 3 points. It works for me. I haven't got to take many trades. I can afford to wait and not take slightly more riskier trades. Just take the sure things. That's all you can do. Put it this way, whenever we see a really beautiful trade, you almost know it's going to work. Those are the trades you've got to wait for. And if you get 2 or 3 a week, you still earn some money. If you're trading one contract, if I take 2 trades in a week and win them both because I wait really patiently, that's $300. That's over $1,000 over a month. You can even afford a loss as well. 8 trades and then a loss, that's $1,000 a month. If you've got 20 accounts, that's 20 grand a month. That's a hell of a lot of money. So you don't need a lot of setups, but we've gone through times like this before where it's been shit, but then we get back into good times and you kind of forget about it. But it is difficult, especially when you get days like this that's just fucking shopping all over the place. I showed you when I started. Yeah, we've cut. I tend to talk sort of honest and candid about, how the trouble is when you're seeing people making comments on Facebook groups and posting charts, you never really, you don't see the full story. Now, Vladdy, who had some experience learning from Mac, very, very confident, full of himself in a way, but he's confident in what he does. And he makes money. But that guy tried to commit suicide. He got into financial trouble. He had a really tough time, like a lot of people do. So even people that are doing well, don't think it just came to them on a silver platter. They've gone through a lot of the same shit that we all do. But you can't sit here every day and fail to slowly improve, even if it's tiny baby steps. But what I will say is really just be careful about how much you spend, because that'll make your journey a lot less painful. I've had flipping debts and stuff. I was racking money up on credit cards, and then using affiliates to pay part of them, and then I was putting more, and you can get into some difficulties if you're not careful. But that's the thing about trading. It is hard, and a lot of people fail, not because they're not capable, because they don't give it enough time and they don't practice and just keep coming every day. But mate, if you're down and you're miserable or something, feel free to message me. I'll have a chat with you. Sometimes you just need a bit of a pick-me-up, just to need a bit of a lift. But all I can say to you is don't beat yourself up. This is hard. And this is, if you went to be a doctor, whatever, in the UK, you spend 2 years working your butt off to get your A-level, spending hours of studying, some you may fail. Then you go to medical school and you spend 5 years working hours and hours reading and studying, and you go into hospital. So, a lot of these careers do take a lot of time, a lot of work, and a lot of study. We're lucky in a way because we don't work nowhere near those hours. But part of the thing that's really helped me is patience, waiting for the good setups. And when you do that, the less setups you take, just by definition, you rule out a lot of the shit. And it's the shit ones that you think, it's probably going to do this, or it looks like this. You've got to wait for those ones that jump out in front of you and wave. The obvious ones, and then everyone takes them. You've really got to wait for those. And as your skill improves, you'll take slightly more advanced stuff, failures or triple tests or, stuff like that. You'll start picking off those. But yeah, it's not easy. But mate, if you're feeling down and you're pissed off, by all means, message me on Facebook. I'm happy to chat because I know how hard it is. We all learn. The only thing that matters after learning is what we do. It is patience. There's one thing you can guarantee. If you don't take a trade, you won't lose any money. It's only when we start taking trades that we have money at risk. So if you're going to risk something, better off take a risk on a more or less a sure thing. And yeah, we don't get many trades. I've taken about 4 trades this month. One of them was out of hours and we're 3 weeks in. I taken 3 trades on stream and 1 trade in an evening, just on a single account. Apart from that, I've done nothing. But then I think it was before Christmas, I did 2 trades in 5 minutes. So you just never know when things will come around. But you don't need to take a lot of trades to make money. You really don't. So, don't be thinking, oh, I need a couple of trades a day. You can make money on a couple of trades a week. Hindsight garbage. Only 1 in 10 times. Yeah. Those decent setups, the really good solid setups that don't fail, rarely. So wait for those ones. Got a bit of a... I like these type trades I do when we have a little channel. Maybe this sort of size channel, we have a break and 2 little legs up with a bearish bar. I like those. They're my type of trades, them. You haven't seen a huge amount of triple tests. I was just in and out at the moment. I kind of looked at this as a triple test here, but then I just thought, yeah, we're clearly struggling here, but it's choppy. Whereas 12 months ago, I may have taken that one, that bar there, or even 1, 2, 3, I may have taken that one. And they all lost. But after a while, you get used to, and just avoid, if it's choppy or congested, there's another good bit of advice. If it's congested or choppy, anything that looks like this, just stay out of. Because there's uncertainty when it's doing that. So you only need a couple of good little sort of bits to think about when you're looking for a trade. Always look left. So if you're going short, if I was taking a short here, I'd say look left. So, just avoid trading into strong resistance, avoid congestion, 3 bars, something like that. Anything like that, I'd just be careful. Anything like that. Anything like this, be careful. Learn to accept it. Yeah, and another thing as well, I really struggle with initially is learn to forgive yourself. So we've got 05 up here. So let's just get an order ready here. See how this looks. It is 2 little legs down. We've got orders up here, but I don't like that bar. Let's see if this one ends up any better. Something I don't like about this. Something I don't like. Well, there is orders at 5, isn't there? Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Looks like a little spike and channel for me. It's probably going to work. I don't know. Do you know what? It's weird. I much prefer to take second entry shorts and second entry longs. It's just something about this I don't like. I don't know what it is. I'm going to get rid of that.
Canceled.
I don't know what it is, and it may go on to work. I think probably what it is we had this little pop out here, didn't we? So whether that makes a difference or not, I don't know. There is a lower high there, but I don't know. I think a few people are saying higher low. I think it's the safer option. There's just something about it I don't like. I just find this chart untrustworthy. See, orders-wise, most of the orders are 102 and above. Sorry, a 25 and above. There is a higher low there. There's going to be shorts there. I don't know. This thing looks like it's going to piss some people off. See, there's Thomas Wade's chart. Doesn't look terrible, does it? He's got an inside bar, he has. I have here, but on this chart, it's better. Sometimes they will work. In this case, it looks like it may do. There's a nice higher low there. It's 17 ticks, isn't it?
Order submitted.
It hasn't triggered us yet. There are sellers at 2005, which is above price, which is good. Okay, I don't like this. I'm staying out of this. I'm just taking a bathroom break. I'll be 2 seconds. Okay, the higher low didn't trigger on here. It did go on to work, so sometimes they will. And it is 2 legs up, isn't it? It's just not nice when it comes back on you. It starts to go a bit sideways. But it comfortably worked. Sometimes they just work. What do you think about the second entry at 150? 1350, let's have a look. The second entry. You on about this in this bit here, bud? I looked at this, but I left it. What I will say, there looks like a channel up. There was 2 legs back, so we had a channel break, new low, and then we just start chopping. There was a little second entry short here, which triggered, came up and stopped out. I was looking at this here, but I deemed it was just too choppy and I left it alone. As I mentioned earlier, when it starts doing this, just stay out of it. It's just not worth it. So yeah, I'd stay out of all that. The fact that may have worked a bit, but you just never know. How far did it go down? So it would have worked, but like it starts doing all this, don't you? It misses you by a couple of ticks. So I wouldn't take any of that, to be honest with you. It's just too choppy. So 2 legs down. There was an inside bar. There was a higher low on this chart, but it never triggered. I just hate all this stuff I do. It's not enjoyable to trade. From the last downswing now, 40%. Yeah, I mean, if If only you could get a copy of the chart for tomorrow. Man, I used to have dreams of that. I did. Remember that program that it was on years ago? It was on in the 90s, I think, early 90s, something like that, late 80s, early 90s. There was a knock on a door or something on the door, and I've mentioned this before. The guy opened it, and there was a cat out there with a newspaper, and it gave all the news for the coming day. I used to have dreams about that. Being able to get a copy of the chart for tomorrow. God, I bet there's people out there even considered selling their soul to the devil to be a good trader. You have some weird things going through your brain sometimes when you're learning to trade, that's for certain. See, it's gone choppy again now, so do you really want to get into this? It may well work, but when it starts to go like this and a little bit unclear, you're best off just staying out of it, because if you get into it, it'll trigger you and pull down. So technically, this spike and channel, two legs up, it's played out. So you've got to give this some space now. So I can see sellers there, and I can see sellers at 10 as well. So does that mean it's going to go up? Who knows? So it needs a new high. Over 11 bars stacked. Yeah, it's just too dangerous. Lone Michelle was called Early Edition. That's it, yeah. Early Edition. Oh, imagine having a knock at the door and we see a picture of the chart for today. Oh, wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be amazing? Oh, if we just knew where it was going to go. Oh, you could make a fortune, couldn't you? So, let's have a look here. I don't know what's going on here. That ain't going to happen, is it? Too many questionable things. Mac will say it needs two legs, then something. It's two legs and actually 5. Yeah. Just looking at this CL chart at the moment, we've got this big move up. We've got a leg down, 2 attempts, another leg down. Are we going to get something like this and then a move up? Who knows? This has been hard lately as well. I don't think there's nothing I've seen on here. I've got that there. Now, whether it's right or not, I've just done that because it visually gives us something. Fits okay at the top. Be interesting to see what happens when it gets here. So, is this a couple legs down? This is going higher or what? I don't know. I will say sellers there. One tick above here. And there are some there as well. Trouble is, if you sit patiently, you never know when a tray is just going to pop up in front of you. And it always happens when you least expect it. And then before you know it, you've made your trade, you're out for the day. Just looking at price levels, chart patterns are not very useful. Yeah, levels are really good, actually. A lot of the times when you see me, when I'm looking at Bookmap, let's talk about this for a start. See those orders at 905. When there's orders around maybe 3 to 5 points, so let me just put this in here. Let's do an experiment here. So there's orders here at 5, yeah. So let's do something like that. And I bet if I look back here, it will respected that quite a bit, yeah. So look, we respect it, we went close to it, we bounced off it. Let's have a look back. We're actually at new highs, aren't we? I think so. Oh no, tell I not. We dropped course. Yeah, there's nothing back. But it's surprising when you look back how many times it's respected levels. You can clearly see this area. We push up through it. We push up through it. We immediately. But you can see here as well how it's respecting these levels. I mean, that's not what I would call a great level because, but a lot of these you'll see a bunch of orders that work within an area like that, and then if you look back, it's quite surprising. Actually, it's uncanny how it works. But yeah, I mean, when I first learned to trade, what we would do every morning on, say, the 15 minutes, maybe the hourly, is we draw levels wherever it's respected kind of more than twice. And it's surprising how it follows these levels. It's uncanny. For instance, if I put that there, let's put that there, touches a couple of times there, bounces there, touches there, touches there, touches there, and here. And it's surprising when it gets between these levels. Usually it goes to the next level down or the next level up on its kind of merry way, but it is surprising. It really is. So, channel, break, new high. Is this reversing or is it just testing this area here somewhere? There's kind of some support and resistance. You can see it here a couple of times. You can see it there. You can see it there and there. So it'll be interesting to see. So it's surprising these levels make a difference. Still got sellers up there. Whether it'll get up there now or not, I don't know. It doesn't mean it'll definitely will. Let's see how it finishes here. See if it slices straight through or it holds. Yeah, you could argue that that's holding there. I can adjust that a fraction. Fits. It is surprising how these levels do work. This is awful. It's a horrible day, I think. So buyers at 87. So I would expect it to come down there. Well, 87.5, which is there. See, we are getting a reaction, aren't we? A little pullback right at these tops. So it is surprising. If we had a couple of little legs up and a second entry short, it may come down and test this bottom again. There's a show on YouTube called, oh, Later Listen, yeah. Goes through the charts and marks all the trades you should have taken, but helps no one. Trouble is, when you've been doing it as long as Mac, it's pretty easy, isn't it? When you've been doing something that long, it is going to be second nature, isn't it? Especially as he goes for a small amount as well. I prefer the older version because you could draw far off in the distance. I don't think I've upgraded mine recently. Not for 3-6 months, something like that, I think. So we have got a small drop there. So you can see there are some sellers. well, there's sellers all the way over here, but there are a slightly large amount of sellers at 95, which is there, which is kind of about the right area. So I'd like to see this push up a little bit more, but there isn't. That looks okay to me. I don't think we've had a break out of that. I mean, you may argue it's like that, but then if you draw it like that, it looks okay. So we need to push up a little bit for me. I wouldn't take anything like that. Well, you may argue it closes in the lower third, but it's too far from the MA. But sometimes it's frustrating, really, when it just drops so you get nothing. There we go. Break new low, nothing. There's one that won the battle. Seems that way, doesn't it? It's more just of a range day so far, isn't it? And then obviously when we had the open, I think we did the same a couple of days ago, didn't we? Maybe last week. Yeah, I think the open was still, I don't know. I'm just waffling now. We've still got that massive gap to fill at some point. I am, mate. I don't pay for it. I actually messaged him and said I was going to leave because it's just having the commitment on a Friday. I haven't got it, and on a Sunday I can kind of come and go. But yeah, so he messaged me. He said, I'll make you a moderator or whatever it is, and there's no charge. So yeah. So you can see how that played out. We pushed down there, and that's exactly where we had a pullback. So you can see these levels, they really do make a difference, don't they? Yeah, that was the last trade I had on it last week. Channel up with the break, new high, second entry short. That was the last one I took. And it worked just. With a tick or two to spare, I think. So channel break, new high, 26 tick higher low. Would you take that? Not me. Not for 26 ticks. Tick above, tick below. Screw that. Get my hands on reversal. Fail second entry types of trades. Yeah, when you get them, they can work really well. Especially if we had a break, little second entry short like that can trigger and often push up. Just go along there, yeah, if it was only that simple. It's simple when you know what the chart did. It's like me saying just go short there. it worked. So, possible second entry short failure maybe here. Is there some kind of a, I don't know. Is there a large channel up there? It's too early, that is. But you never know. By the end of the day, it may not look too bad. I was hoping we get a failure there, actually. Bearish bar there. Second entry short trigger, but it's up too steep, that is. So, still got orders at 5 up here, and some at 900 as well. So some shorts there, short orders there, and short orders there. It's definitely trying to move up this. It's definitely a weak trend, isn't it? Okay, so we got buyers at 85. Now, is this just 2 legs down before we move up some more? This is boring, isn't it, today? Possible second entry short there. The only trouble I have. Do I really want to go short where there's a lot of orders up here? You've got to be so careful. So there's a bull bar there and then a higher low there, which is triggered. Trouble is, it may just come down and then push up. So there's orders, lots of orders up here. There's some at 900, some at 905, which is still quite far away, and then a bunch more up here as well. So for me, this is a couple of legs back. My guess is more likely going to go up. So I'm just sitting tight here. Okay, so that's hitting some orders, so they're gone. So 05, there's quite a chunk around here. 02 to 05. So let me just draw this. So it's more like 06. So there's sellers right in this area. So down is 2.5. Now, see how we've pushed up into this area twice and it's rejected. There are more sellers here. Now, there are sellers further up as well. Let's just have a look back, see how much this played a part. Same again, it did. Pushed into it, pushed through it, pushed through it. In fact, didn't I draw something like this a bit earlier? Same again, bounced a few times off it. Channel down, break new low, 2 pushes. I wouldn't be surprised if we had this thing came down from here. So there is a bunch of sellers around here, but there is some at 10 up here. A little bit higher as well up here somewhere. So there are a few sellers up here, but there are a chunk. There's what, 2, 4. There's around 650 in this area, 650 contracts for sale. And this is kind of 2 attempts up, isn't it? So, trouble is, it's so hard. It's quite rangy, I think. We're getting close to the tops here, which is why you probably expect some selling. It is pretty much rangy. There is a slight, I wouldn't even say it was worth saying it's an imbalance, bullish imbalance, because it's mainly chop, and then we have a couple of attempts. But yeah, I suppose you can say slightly, but we've had this big push down of an item. We're slowly grabbing some of it back. We're not far from overnight O's. Now, bear in mind, we have got this big gap that is likely to be filled at some point. So is this a slow grab? It's hard to tell. To be fair, the higher low did work. Lots of risk. So yeah, if a trade works, it doesn't bother me. Guaranteed if I took it, it wouldn't. So, because the thing is, we've got a channel down here with a break new low. We've had a channel break new high. So there's always a possibility that we can make a second leg down. There's always a possibility that we may end up having something like this. There's no guarantees, see. So I don't know whether this is a channel with just a break. I don't know whether it's going to trigger that bull bar and then have a lower high. So the trouble is, until you know where price actually went, it's very hard to draw all these channels, which is why at the end of the day it's a doddle, because you can see exactly where they went. You can't get it wrong. See how we've had a failed break out of this range here. So you wouldn't necessarily go short, would you? But we've got a channel down, so there is like a second entry short there, which did work. But in real terms, we didn't know that. When we've kind of had an overshoot here, followed by an overshoot, you don't know whether it's going to trigger you, bounce off this line and push up to the top. So, you know, when you can't see what happened next, it's very hard to take a short into support. But from Mac's point of view, he could mark it. I doubt he would, but he could mark it. It's just one of those things. It's frustrating when you can kind of only see half the picture. When that's all you can see, you don't know whether we've pushed up, testing the inside of this line, and then we're going to go up again. It's just one of those things. Okay, so we've had a reaction off this area here once, and again, and a third time, and there is kind of 2 legs up. So some of these orders up here are thinning out now. There's still a bunch around the 2 to 5. But as it pushes down, a lot of these will probably get yanked. You know, I think there's traders thinking if we can get back into this area, we'll short. And we've literally just tapped into it. And then we seem to be getting a bit of a reaction. I'm not saying this is going to come straight down. It may have another go. It's just hard going. Ooh. Little Hammer, how you doing, buddy? So a lot of these orders are disappearing. There's a big bunch there. Can you see how it's all gone black apart from that? It almost looks like there's some news, but this would disappear with news. So it's interesting. So if you look from 209, 206, 209, so 3, 4, 5, there's just 6, 7, 8. If you drag that up, there's 800 contracts in this area for sale. Okay, I'm getting a bit frustrated. Well, not frustrated, but it's just horrible, isn't it? So I'm going to take a quick breather. I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break, make a cup of tea, stretch the legs, and I'll be back. I'll leave you with that. I've got nothing open, have I? Okay, so I'll be about 3 to 5 minutes. I'll be back. missed anything. Oh dear, this is choppy. So channel break, no low. There is a higher low there. It does look like it's going up. I just don't trust any of this at the moment. Chris, how you doing, buddy? Oh. It's just not really much you can do with this. So we get this move down with the break new low, 2 attempts to push higher. Doesn't look like it's coming down. Trouble is, you've got a rather large area of sellers there. So if we have a bounce here, 2 legs down, that will be a triple test. This thing may then push up. Wilson, shush. There's no one there. Okay, I think this is VWAP down here, right here now. So, well, further down, 82-ish down here. So, channel break, new low. Let's see what happens here. So, this area here, where these sellers were, pushed up there once, twice, and 2 more attempts, and then it's looked like it's given up the ghost in it. And this thing's taking a move down. So we have cleared a load of liquidity here, so maybe this is pushing up. Channel break new low. Just didn't want to take that. I never take that first one. You just don't know. I want to see what the reaction is. I don't think there's anything down there like that. It doesn't work very well. Disco, you're in Eastbourne today, are you? Is it pissing down there like it is here? Miserable here at the moment. Surprise, surprise. That's British winter for you. It's quite mild, but it's just windy and just miserable. It's sunny, is it? Yeah. Okay, so we got a little push up. Let's have a break. Let's see if we can get a second entry. Second entry long. I don't know how I feel about trading in the middle. Might be a small break there. Okay, there is a channel with a break and a bull bar, but I just don't trust this. Can you see where it's turned? There's a little bit of resistance there. So for me, it's only a first entry anyway. If we had a second entry long, it might not be so bad. For a second leg up. Let's see what happens here. We could do. We've had a bounce at the EMA and a push up, but we need a second entry long here. We need to come down a little bit more on this one. If we can break below there and then turn up. Trouble is, we come back to here, man, it's working up. We're at the eyes already. So it's a bit frustrating. I think there's a good chance we get a second leg up there, but we need something stronger. Yeah, we may get something. Come down, break below that bar. Come on, come down. Come on, come down, you tosser. Come on, give us something. So we may get a failure. Second entry short failure. That is good enough to trigger, really. It's not the best failure if it triggers, but... Still got those orders up here, so we may get something. If we can get a second entry short to trigger, let's just get an order ready. Does unnerve me going into this a little bit, but I don't think this is strong support, to be honest with you. But there we go. Oh, you bugger, it hasn't come down, has it? Come on, come down. Just drop below there. It's not going to, is it? Dagnammit. There is. Is it triggered by a tick? No, it hasn't. Come on, come down just a little bit. We've got to get another little leg back, or at least an attempt.
Order cancelled.
If we'd have got a higher low here, a second entry long, I'd have been interested in that, because we've gone up halfway and we've had a break, so you expect there's a good chance of a second leg up. We've had a little break here, which has failed and pushed in quite strong, so I think there's a good chance we get into this area. Trouble is, we've tried a few times. It's a shame, really. I thought we may get something there, but... So, new high. So that will be a second entry. It's still possible failure. We've broken above here now and we've got a bearish bar. Okay, I'm going to knock on the head there. This is frying my head today for some reason. Chop, 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 chop. Sometimes it's better off just have a day when it's like this. I mean, it's proper choppy. We had this section down here, push up, and we've got it again. It's so easy to get trapped in there. I mean, yeah, it's range rules. I don't know how I feel taking a bar like that, though, because it's just so untrustworthy. It was a bull bar there. It didn't work, but I hate this stuff, to be honest with you. I feel a bit frustrated today, which is strange. I'm usually all right. I suppose it's just because we've had all this crap and slow, horrible trading up through Christmas. Now we're in the new year. You know, Mac went, sometimes it takes a week to get back into it, you know, to start getting people in, but you're going to call it as well. Yeah, you can. It's not worth it, because sometimes if your patients get the better, I feel like my patients are getting the better of me a little bit today. Not that I've taken a trade, but, you know, when you just sort of get that feeling. So I think sometimes you're best off just knock it on the head. So at least that way you don't do yourself any damage. So Tuesday today, there was no trading yesterday. Well, half day yesterday because of holiday. So I'm going to leave you guys to it. So I appreciate your company. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do it all again. You too, Daryl. If you are trading, just be careful with this stuff. It's not pleasant, and it's so easy to get it wrong, and these bars are rather large. So anyway, I'll leave you guys to have a great evening. Stay safe. We'll catch up tomorrow. Bye for now.